Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions.
No,
right?
2 touchdown passes.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. And they'll be led out by their quarterback and none other than Cam Newton.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Artis Payne. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. The open man is Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it with Artis Payne. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers for Artis Payne a week ago. 14 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
On 2nd and a couple, Newton unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No.
And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. The Broncos, they've taken an early lead against the Chiefs. Joe Flacco, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. Here's Wilson. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. To the 45. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. To throw again. Wilson out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
The 13 yards that time of the first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up second down.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Back to throw, Newton. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Oh, boy,
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
let's go, baby.
Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. On first down, Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded just inside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. On 1st and 10, Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
First and goal at the 9-yard line. Have a set. Ready? 50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun, Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, as the first half is winding down, and the Panthers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had...
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. Hurdles over him. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the guy. Watch the guy.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now Artis Payne, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now it's Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drum half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Shrugs him off. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Now Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and they work this well upfield across the 45. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Newton now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay.
He caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down inbounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Newton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Second and 5 now. Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Completes it to Dixon. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and those creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run again here with Artis Payne. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Newton's going to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Newton now to throw. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Travis Homer, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And the Panthers coming out now. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Carolina, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they fall to 8-6 with the loss.
Hey, everybody, it's the...
Coach, thank you. Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And the Indianapolis Colts. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year. You guys had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
Well, he got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Newton out to his left. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Ebron caught left side. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Gerald McCoy in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Here's Locke. He's going to let this go end zone for Hilton. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Golden. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get in the right room. Get in the right room.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Dancing to his left. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Anthony Walker, the other Colts linebacker with over 100 tackles a year ago, making the play there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. The 30, 10, touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Hard to believe, but the regular season's starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Let's go.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Luck now after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. To throw again on 2nd down. Luck under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Luck. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Newton to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. To throw is Newton. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Luck. And he's going to go down. Couldn't to throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And the catch made by Hilton. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Throwing again on second down. Newton over the middle, complete to Samuel. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Walsh. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed